This morning we were about to go live.
It just sits.
Because of the
Yeah.
Right here. This is good reminder. My wife thinks I'm handsome.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, it does sound
You're saying both.
Right. It's like
Needs to go downhill.
Graceland Heights on the point, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep water?
You can.
I actually, got 50 gallons of water. Until 5 gallons.
Yeah. I did mowing a yard there
Yeah.
about 6 years ago. And if you go in Graceland Heights, hang the first right, and then hang the right again, it was in that last cul-de-sac that butts up to the hill. And a rainstorm came right ahead and it washed that whole hill down into these people's yard.
And what do you do? Order?
There.
All the aldermen are here, and I'll talk real slow, and I think Mike Lott will be here in a second.
Still got 1 minute.
I got our, oh yeah, I'm 5:59. I'm 6:01 on my watch, so it's because I'm late all the time, and that's gonna get me here on time, maybe. Yep, now we're good. Let's see if my phone's good. Okay, we're good. All the aldermen are here, and Mike Lott will join us in a second. Yep, there he goes. I knew it stalled long enough to make that happen. But anyway, we got Melissa Martin, our clerk, Rocky Eaton, our attorney here. So if Craig Bullock would lead us in prayer and the pledge.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for today. Thank you for the honor and privilege to be here. Thank you for the ability to live in a wonderful city. God, I pray that as we do our best to represent the citizens, God, that we'll do so with class, with dignity, and God, that will reflect you in what we do and say. Thank you for loving us. I ask for travel mercies for those who are here tonight. Thank you for their ability to be here. And I pray that you'll just cover us with your blessings tonight. It's in Jesus' name that I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah. All righty, I think I know who this person is. Keely, come on up here. Oh, wait a second, let me get some other housekeeping. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda with the changes? Did you add other stuff? Motion. The only change is on the Pedal Children's Task Force 5K run. Instead of 1,500, it needs to be 2,500. We will be a title sponsor at that number. So is there a motion with that change? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, no. Motion to accept the consent agenda. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, Keely. We sure nothing else?
Good evening, everybody. So I coming back before you tonight, and this is, I'm not going to forget to introduce her this time. So she is our board president now. So I want to come back before you all tonight to propose putting a shed and gazebo at the seed site that we have. And before you should have a site plan that Pacer was so gracious enough to create for us. And it should have the dimensions and all that in the middle somewhere on there, so you can see how big it'll be. It will not be a permanent structure. We will be able to move that if need be to where it was not like, where it was never there. We're not putting any concrete or anything down in it, but we do plan to build that ourselves. So I just wanted to propose to see if we could build those two items. We have a grant that we received from the Gulf South. Let me get their names together because it's a long name. Mississippi Gulf Coast out for the Green New Deal. They gave us a $4,000 grant to where we will basically put solar panels on top of the gazebo or the shed to create renewable energy. So it's just something that we'll use as a model to show the students how to do when they come out there. And, you know, basically anybody that's interested in hearing about it. But, we also wanted to ask, if we are approved to build the shed and gazebo on the site, that we also, be able to be waived the permit fee. Trying to remember everything that he told me to ask for, so.
Josh, you?
I just took a look at it a minute ago. It looks like that was like the original plan. It's gonna be something that's not an eyesore, but something that the public would like to come out and see.
This is over at, across from the Y.
Well, yeah, but back on Logan.
Right.
And where the butterflies are, basically we're taking flowers and creating butterflies, so there's not like an actual structure, it's just landscape.
Soccer fields, I know that's not, that can happen tomorrow.
The soccer fields are inside the track. The
Okay.
two little spots that they had, the two other fields, I think it's at the end of where they're going.
Okay, any questions, guys?
Be careful, this is, that thing can catch wind. You're gonna have to brace it somehow or balance.
We all have it concrete in the ground though. won't
Yeah,
they?
it's
They gonna,
supposed to
they
be
gonna concrete it in.
basically.
You're just not gonna have a pad now.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, that was my question.
So that brings up the question, if you guys are, amicable for it, for us to make that an agenda item and, allow them to build and then waive the permit fee is one of them?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there a motion such to that effect?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you. This has been a process.
Hey, you just keep doing the job you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
Five years.
Means a lot.
Awesome, you're doing all the work, we're just, doing what elected officials do. Anyway, if we can, I would like to go and go ahead and take care of this for a swearing in. If we could go to number 35 and orders and ordinances. And is there a motion to adopt an order hiring Heath Dixon full-time as a first-class officer at a rate of $18.32 per hour, effective 9/7? Is there a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right, Heath.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Come on, he's coming around.
They're leaving, they do that every time.
She's run out of money, really. in that hurry.
Hey, all right. Here, look here, look you. We're smiling for that camera right there. Anyway, just repeat after me. I, Heath Dixon,
I, Heath Dixon,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully support
that I will faithfully support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Mississippi,
and the Constitution of the State of Mississippi,
and obey the laws thereof,
and obey the laws thereof,
that I am not disqualified
that I am not disqualified
from holding the office of police officer,
holding the office of police officer,
that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Assistant Chief, is he the tallest on the force now?
No, probably Jeremy, you
Jeremy,
know.
so
Between him and Jeremy, I guess. Jeremy may have to be pretty tall.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. As we often say, we like to show off our people. And I always say that we don't want to bump into people we just hired last week at Walmart and not know who they are. So anyway, Heath, welcome aboard. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Glad to have you.
And Alderman Stringer on the photos, so that's even better.
She was a little late.
All right.
Need those, put them on the website.
We got another public comment.
Oh, yeah, we got another public comment. Hey, Anita, come on up here.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing today?
Not good, how are y'all? This is not normally what I do.
What's your name?
Nita Pierce,
Anita?
Nita, N-I-T-A.
Hey, by the way, your stuff in front of, the library's been a hit, I think. I really think it has. I mean, the stuff I see over there, I mean, stuff seems to be circulating through
Yeah,
there.
it looks good.
If you don't know,
Helping a lot.
New Joe, she, did our pantry box in front of the library. So good job. Oh, go ahead though.
Okay, so I am here pretty much on behalf of my entire neighborhood on the Woodside area. I have spoke with Mr. Ducker many, many times. My frustration is we are not supposed to be flooded from stormwater. We're in a flood zone due to the river. Now, there needs to be bigger culverts underneath the bridge so that the creek can run out correctly.
On the railroad track.
Yes, under the railroad tracks, thank you. What happens is we have all the runoff that comes down to us. And then when the creek can't handle everything, it runs back into the ditch. Now, the ditch needs to, you need to go all the way down to the trestle. It is slam full down there. They have went down a little, but until you go all the way down, clear it out, our drainage cannot run out. And then we get flooded. We've been flooded almost three times, I believe. I've been here in 4 years. 3 times we've been flooded. My house is destroyed. I have to sell it for $85,000 because I barely have walls on it. So there's got to be a point that y'all start thinking, I mean, I pay over $7,000 in land taxes between the 2 homes that I own down there. I have one that is built up to the highest flood that it can be. And I guess that was required when he built it. But it's not fair to us for nothing to be done. And then we just we're forgotten about. Our road has not been paved since 1980. And I can tell you this because my family has owned that home for over 40 years. So for 40 years, they have been dealing with flooding, 40 years. Because before we lived there, they flooded multiple times. I have an 80, 90-year-old couple that lives beside me who consistently has to redo their home. I can't tell you how many times they've had to do it because they flooded well more times than I have. There's got to be a point to where I get that if we do this drainage underneath the bridge, we don't have to worry about the railroad. But at the end of the day, the railroad's got a heck of a lot more money than I do. And they can replace their stuff. I cannot. So there's got to be a point that y'all got to work together and try to help us down here, because it's not fair to us. So.
On the paving, that's what I was just trying to look up. I'm looking in the wrong section though. We're fixed to do one of our bigger paving projects next year and hopefully get in a routine where we can do that more consistently. As well, on the ditch behind your house, that area right there, we're waiting for some numbers back from our engineer. So hopefully, and I did have some conversations, a large scale dent in some of that stuff's going to require core action. And that's a maybe at best, but at least those conversations on our level are being had. It'll have to be in something in conjunction with us and the county. The ideal situation would be to catch a lot of that water before it ever gets to you and crosses the Gandy.
That would be nice.
And that's what, so I've had some of those conversations, so hopefully.
And it's not just us though.
Yeah.
It's down Stevens Street. It's
well, it affected
the
back even up to
whole
Hudson Street this
So-
past time, and I'm talking about getting up there and catching that water
Mayor, I
before it
don't
even
know,
gets
I
down
don't know
there.
for sure when what point it heard get done, but Woodside is on our list.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, Woodside is on our list to pay, it's just,
And this would actually be next, spring,
Cool,
for a
but I'm
spring
kinda more
paving.
worried
And Tammy, you
about
mentioned
flooding again.
that you're talking with the engineer. We actually approved a while ago for the engineer to look into a plan that had been approved by the Corps of Engineers in the 80s to basically run a big ditch along the railroad tracks connected to Greens Creek there.
And I know you had said something about the ponds. Did you ever find anything about that?
Stuff within, we're on the front end of probably 4 or 5 different things, so we're working on it, but I'll just tell you a little bit on the money side of what it means. You see the concrete up here at the Greens Creek thing? I'll see if I can tell the story quickly, which isn't me, but all that riprap stuff there, that was $208,000. If we were to replicate that through the lower Greens Creek Basin, that's over $5 million, and it still doesn't get water to that.
I
So we're still,
understand
so that's, when I mentioned the core, I'm trying to trying to find outside monies that can come in and help us.
Well, may I ask where the money
Yeah.
from the last time that we flooded, where they wanted the number of houses that flooded, and we gave it all to them, and they gave y'all money, but not us?
I believe that's FEMA, and I think they all take the information. Sometimes it's not declared a disaster, and sometimes it is.
So
And
where was that money allocated?
I don't know
from
that
40
we,
years ago?
I don't know that, I know the city on our side, didn't really get anything. We just did, I mean, we just did it this time.
I know how hard it is for you to get here. I do believe you normally are working. And I really do appreciate the effort because a lot of times I feel like I am the voice. A lot of the people who are experiencing the flooding don't have a voice because they are at work or they have 3 kids at the house they have to take care of, or a combination of all of those things. And I actually know a little bit about you. I know how hard it is for you to be here. I was surprised to see you, and I was glad to see you.
I can't keep complaining and not show up.
I understand, but this helps a lot. It really does. And I really appreciate you coming and talking to us and sharing your personal experience with it. It does mean a lot to me. And we do have some plans in the works, like I say, and we're trying to push it forward. And when you come and you share with us how this is personally affecting you and your neighbors, it does put a little pepper in our step, and I appreciate that very much.
Well, I appreciate all you do.
And we do.
You've done a good job.
And we do feel, I mean, we understand what, you know, and that's what we are in the process of trying to get a lot of this, you know. Up in town now, I mean, we have a little bit more money now than we've had in the past, so we're trying to get a lot of that worked out. Drainage has been a problem in total as long as I can remember, and so we need to try to fix it, and that's what we're working on.
Well, my main thing to come today was just kind of to have a voice out here because I'm sure
Absolutely,
Mr.
yes,
Tony is so tired of hearing me, and I'm sure Mr. Gerald is too. But I just kind of wanted to talk to the rest of y'all and just kind of let y'all know what we're dealing with.
If you don't come talk to us, then we don't, you know, I know, and we love meeting people, you know, everybody, that's what we want to do, so.
And then you say you're always getting nervous to talk, and then you talk to WAM and you just hit a home run with it, so I'm not even sure about.
I did not like that at all.
Anyway, thank you.
Okay,
Joe.
thank you, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good night.
Alrighty, proclamations and resolutions. Is there a motion to accept payments under the Mississippi Law Enforcement and Firefighters Premium Pay Program? Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 10, request to adopt resolution designating authorized representatives and authorizing submission of grant applications. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
And that basically is that's the ARPA one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the ARPA funds, basically putting myself and Melissa as designees for conversations that we'll have when we start submitting things into the portal. And I've got some information on that I'll present to the board here in a minute.
Is there anything, there's nobody else that could legally be authorized?
I mean, it's just we're down here all the time. That would be easier. I will, and I guess I'll save it to the mayor's report, but we'll kind of mention this here in a minute. Some of the stuff that we've got planned doing. The portal open this month is why this is pertinent information. With the state money, doubling our money. Hopefully that'll go. No, that won't go smoothly, but hopefully it won't go so bad. But anyway, got a motion and a second. All in favor? Number 11, request to adopt a proclamation for Constitution Week, which culminates on September 17th, I believe. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now here's the fun stuff. Bids and quotes. Number 12, request to accept bid from Warren Paving in the amount of $1,541,605 for 2022 street overlay per SDW. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Probably one of the largest ones. I know it's the largest one in more than a decade paving project, and I want to commend the board on getting us a list of everything. We had 2 folks bid. This was considerably less expensive than the other bid, and it was right into the sweet spot of the amount of money we were going to have available come this springtime. It is a little bit unusual that we're doing it and not handing them a notice to proceed. And the fact that those folks are so backed up, if we continue to wait, they're going 6 to 9 months out. So we're getting in front of this and making this happen, and they'll start sometime in the spring when we'll get some more of our money to make this happen. I got a motion, got a second, all in favor? Number 13, request to accept a quote from Warren Paving in the amount of $58,721.50 for tennis court parking lot improvements for Robert E. Russell Sports Complex for South Dearman Waits.
Motion.
Funding to come from HB 1730 fund for parking lot improvements. I got a motion. Is there a second? All in favor? Old business, request to accept maintenance agreement with Mississippi Power for lighting the EG and change the lights to LED. That's a revisit from our last meeting. Mike, you had gotten some information from, if we went private source on that?
Yes, sir. Private source on there. Were you able to get that out to?
No, I don't think we did. I don't think we printed it yet.
Okay. You know, their numbers are a little higher than Mississippi Power's.
I think that's why we didn't.
There's different options that they're offering to do. But, you know, it's what the board wants to do, basically.
Hey, we've got somebody from Mississippi Power, don't we?
Hey, yeah, there you go.
I had my wrong, yeah, come on up.
Come on back up here.
I had my wrong glasses on.
You want my short glasses?
Yeah, I got two pairs.
Samantha, I don't think the rest of the board has that sheet that you're gonna talk through, but if you can use that as kind of a template, that'll help us.
Okay, and I think I have, I don't know if I have enough copies now, but I have a pretty good bit.
Can you make a copy of everything?
Alright, so there you go.
We can make a copy if we need to.
Okay.
I mean, we only asked you 45 questions last time.
Hey, it's okay, I got about 50 on here. And I'll just, I guess I'll just speed up, kind of let y'all start, or do you want me to, how would you like to handle that?
I'll leave it to your,
Okay.
based on the questions from last time, I guess, for the knowledge of the board, so they can take their opinion.
That's right, okay. So, a few of the concerns that were brought up, you know, so LED does have a better life expectancy than the HID fixtures do. They also come with better warranties than HID fixtures do. Really just LED in general, it's the new technology, more reliable, energy efficient, cost efficient, all of that. I put all of those points, most of those points are going to be on the back side of that sheet. Have little bullets there. But one of the concerns as well is, you know, originally we came with a lease proposal, and that would mean that Mississippi Power owns, maintains, and handles the liability for those fixtures that would be installed. One of the options opposed to that would be for us just to do a turnkey installation. So we would come in, install fixtures, and then we could pair that with a maintenance agreement. We talked about postponing that maintenance agreement for a year since there is warranty that would come with those new fixtures installed. So what I've done is I've done a little bit more homework on the front side and put together a little chart. Originally, I just gave you all, you know, our most cost-effective manufacturer. I did put together 2 other price options here. They are more expensive price options, but one of them provides better energy savings. One of them provides a little bit better customer service from a maintenance standpoint, or warranty standpoint, I guess I should say. But really just laid out those options for you all. Trying to keep my opinion as much out of it as I could, but still give you all, you know, the knowledge I have from working in the utility industry and kind of which direction I would go if I was making the decision. And I know it's a lot of information as well, so as you're scanning, if you want me to kind of talk through something.
Now, if you had made the decision, which would you like?
Personally, I like that option 2. It's a well-known manufacturer. They have a wonderful warranty. I can pick up the phone, call them. You all would be able to pick up the phone, call them, and it wouldn't be a matter.
It means a lot when you do that.
It really is. Oh yeah. That one does have the highest energy cost savings, and that's just an assumption there because, you know, I just assumed based on 1 meter point, and I know that there's more than that. Mississippi Power alone has 2 meter points on the Gandy for those lights, and I believe Dixie at least has 1. I'm not sure how many more.
I have an impossible question for you, but I'm gonna ask it.
Go ahead.
How many lumens are currently coming out of our layups.
Impossible question.
Yes, okay.
So, I will tell you that even day one HRD installation, if they told you there's 20,000 lumens coming out of that fixture, 2 days later, it could be significantly lower just because that's how ineffective HRD is.
Yeah. A little bit more fill on the LED, how, I mean, they're a lot, I mean, better light, so, I mean.
Oh, yeah, and all the light is directed exactly where you want it to go, as opposed to HRD or metal.
I was just looking for any way to gauge the difference between 19,000 and 27,000 lumens. You know, I don't know how to understand that.
That's right. So one way, and something that I have not done because it's very labor intensive, is the only real option is for me to get out there with a light meter and see foot candle level. So that is an option, but it, like I said, it's very.
Hey, another decision we need to make too is on the labor only for standard maintenance, correct?
That's correct. So I did look at that as well, since there is a warranty included with those turnkey options. You know, we can do it to where it's just labor, so the material's covered under that warranty. Labor would then just be under that monthly maintenance agreement. You call us, we cover it, work to help you get the fixtures on that warranty. The only thing with that is later down the road, when the warranty is up, at that point, I would have to reevaluate if you want to continue on. We have to figure out the include material.
Samantha, can you explain the difference between the 5-year and 10-year optional warranty on option 2? Is that increased costs besides the 121?
It is increased cost. I believe the manufacturer quoted me 10% increase.
So another 12,000. So if you're trying to do apples and apples, I mean, you can't really do it because you're all different ones. The 10-year warranty on option 3, which, you know, is, like I said, your write-up has, okay, so they, you know, good, equal manufacturer, number 2. That would give us the best warranty long-term.
It would.
And that would kind of help lock in our labor-only maintenance for 10 years.
We would still say that contract is a 1-year contract. It's locked in for that 1 year, and unless you all or Mississippi Power looks at that contract and wants to renegotiate, we could after that 1-year mark. I will say typically we have not, like, same thing with the existing maintenance agreement we have with you all.
Rolled on, kept rolling.
Yeah, it just keeps rolling.
Now, the labor-only maintenance, you know, for if the parts warranty for 10 years, or the LED fixture, the fixture head, you know, year 5, still the city employees are working the ordering, receiving the head, and then we're just calling you to say, hey, can you go install it? Basically, that's the labor part installing it, right?
Yes, that is, but we do work a lot since the manufacturers are selling directly to us and then we are selling back to you all. There's a connection there, and I know we've had that conversation about whether or not that's spelled out in the contract or not, and I have not read through the contract exactly, but I know our manufacturer has said that I can call and do that on the city of Petal's behalf.
It's all about floating that warranty part, because we know it's coming, okay?
And I will say too, all of these fixtures, you know, regardless of if it's manufacturer 1, 2, or 3, are fixtures that Mississippi Power uses on our business all across our territory. So it's fixtures that we keep readily in our warehouses, in our storerooms. So if there is, like there always is, problems getting material, if there's delays or anything like that, then there's at least a certain amount that we keep within our warehouses that we could help address that.
The 8 lights going up from the Walmart intersection is on the Dixie Electric footprint. Like I said, because like I said, we don't want to have LED on one side and HID on the other side. What's the easiest way that we could coordinate that the whole game is done all at once?
So to my knowledge, and now I'm trying to picture it, and you have to correct me if I'm wrong, everything on the Evelyn Gandy, especially through the median, even if it's behind the Dixie Electric meter point, it's something that you all own now and that we've maintained under the current maintenance agreement. So if you were owning it, then we could change out all of those lights. That's in the count.
So the 189 goes all the way to the top of the corner intersection?
I believe it's 186. But yes.
186, okay. Yeah, I like option 3 just for the long-term warranty. So like I said, trying to apples and apples, at least get the 10 years, because if that's another $20,000 on top of option 2, and based on your write-up, well, or 12,000, 10%. And, you know, based on your recommendations on the notes, which are very, very, very good. I do appreciate you went through the estimate energy costs.
Yes.
Like I said, so there is, I know we're being forced by logistics of HIDs going away, but the reality is we're gonna be saving almost $20,000 in electric costs every year by just doing this. So, I mean, that's something that's, you know, it's one of those, you know, it's gonna happen one way or the other, but at least it's nice to know that we're doing something that's gonna save the city some money. So, it doesn't save us upfront costs, but, you know, 10 years down the road, that'll help us. So, I like option 3, but Mike, based on do you have any feedback? Because Samantha's done a great job.
I mean, it's broke down, you know, it's broke down really good.
I would actually, I don't have a problem with 3.
I would actually suggest that we go with 2, because, like we said, the 10-year optional is about a $12,000 increase. That's already about, let's see, yeah, that's about 2,000 less than what option 3 starts off as the turnkey price. And then whenever you go down to the estimated energy cost savings, it's another $100 off per month over a year, over 10 years. That's gonna equal up to about $12,000. And so in the long run, it saves a few thousand, but it's still a bit of savings.
Actually, turnkey
3.
price of
3 would be better.
122. I mean, I don't-
The 10% would be added to the 121 option 2. correct?
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
right.
3 is about 2,000 higher. So,
But when you add the 10% for the 10-year, you're up at
133.
133.
but then whenever you say add the monthly savings per year, that's an extra $1,000 off. That's $12,000. So we either add,
Option 3 would save about,
Are you saying that based on the fact that one's 530 kilowatts and the other one's 560?
no, I'm basing that off of the estimated energy cost savings.
well, it's $100 cheaper for option 3. That would be, well, that would be saving because it will be $100.
I'll say savings, so the opposite direction. Am I reading that correctly?
But I think,
Like we'll be saving 1,800 instead of 1,700,
Yeah,
so we're
yeah.
saving more under 2.
That's right. I will tell you, please do not hold me to this energy cost savings, because, I mean, if
that's
you
just
look
the
there.
estimate.
Wait, that's 4 cents.
Assumption,
You have to
there's a
sign
lot
off
in
on
there.
that.
I
You
did my
can't
absolute
control the
best.
price of it.
I was saying, and that's for the reason, if 2 is higher cost product, higher quality and all that fun stuff, I would say in the long run, if these are close to correct, because you could be off on either one, so I'll just operate under the assumption that these are correct, then we would save $12,000 more over that 10 years with 2 as opposed to 3. And then 2 already starts off $2,000 cheaper, or more accurately, $1,750 cheaper.
There's a reason for that, less wattage.
yeah,
Correct, but I'm just saying, like, if the issue is saving,
and I like the brighter lights.
The brighter.
Yeah.
How
I would say, and that's fine, that's something to be considered, but I would say if the issue is saving money in the long run too, I think, once again, long run is cheaper.
All right, what is the will of the board?
I like 3.
I'll make a motion that we approve option 3.
I'm second.
Is there a second? Got a motion and a second?
And can we confirm the labor only maintenance or standard maintenance? You need that decision tonight too, right?
I like,
Or you would like that?
I like that.
Standard, I think standard.
It'll be bright, a lot brighter on me,
Yes.
no way around it.
And just explain the difference between standard maintenance and labor only maintenance clearly, so we know what we're buying. Or
So the standard maintenance, both of them are 1-year agreements. Standard maintenance includes the years that we're making the assumption that we will have the maintenance agreement longer than 1 year. We'll have it for the first 10 years of the warranty, and then after the warranty is up. So we are including material in that standard maintenance agreement. If you don't want to operate that way and like be a little bit additional savings, there is the labor only maintenance agreement, because you will be working under that manufacturer's warranty for the first 10 years.
And then we have to buy the material, right?
It's covered by the warranty. Mhm.
Everything above the pole is covered by it. But the
Just-
poles and the
Just the
bases
pole,
are
right?
still
Yeah, we
up.
already own the pole.
Still, we already on the pole.
Yeah, but if they come down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just so we own the light too.
So Samantha, just so I can replay my mind. So the first one is labor, only, which basically, you know, we call, say, we have 3 lights out, and we coordinate with you all, and hopefully, you know, like I said, that since it's under warranty, then the lights will be replaced free of charge. The labor is basically what we're paying you, $500 per month.
That's right.
If we did the $1,500, we would be getting the same basically
The
procedure, right?
Same thing.
Except that really the warranty is going through you all versus us somewhat. No, since we all
No.
still come through.
You would
So
still
there's
want
really
the
no
only-
value of us
That's
doing
good
standard maintenance.
No, the
That's
only way,
$18,000 a year.
Yeah, I agree with that now, yeah.
the only way that you would ever see that is if you held on to the
11,
maintenance agreement
11,
past
12.
that.
Past the 10 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
At that time, because like I said, the lights might be,
I think like, I'll make a
Laser,
motion.
who knows,
Yeah.
whatever the next technology is.
so,
Yeah, option 3, labor only.
That's your motion, and Gerald got a second on that.
Sure, yeah.
All in favor? Any opposed?
thank you, Samantha.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for all the work, hard work you put in.
Of course, any other time I can do it, let me know.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's 24,000.
We'll get all our other village LEDs too, so.
There you go, Mike, you want to see that again. Thank you. All righty, let's go to, general business. Number 15, request to declare an emergency at the Petal Senior / Veteran Center and accept quotes for repairs. Is there a motion?
13.
Less than the 50. Second.
All in favor? All right, number 16. Number 16, request to refund $1,500 cash bond to Adamo Bonding Company. Is there a motion? And a second?
Second.
All in favor? Number 7, request to allow Pettis Brewer to use the Civic Center for men's prayer meeting at no charge. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Let's
Is
say,
there a second? All in favor?
The date on that, October.
Yeah, October, we've already had one, and we went ahead and paid for that one, and then. Number 18, request to sponsor the Petal Children's Task Force 5K run at a cost of $2,500 instead of $1,500. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
second.
All in favor?
You know when you come to the mayor?
Huh?
The mayor comes to let her know.
I know, she
You got- you
didn't
got
say
documents.
anything. What's the date of that?
I would like
February?
to, I would like to tell you
Absolutely.
something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I went, they were
And
on,
I'll
we were
let
on a roll. I didn't want to slow
Valerie,
anything up.
could hold my hand since she's on our board, so. I would like to tell you our numbers are going up drastically. Times are getting hard, it's hard to find food. We've gone over budget on our food, but the board voted, hey, we're here to help people, let's buy food. So we've been purchasing food. In August, we had 564 boxes that went out to people. We had 33 new people that signed up to receive food. And that was 1,618 people in a family. And we have 80 homeless. Now, when I say that, there's 20 homeless, but they get to come in once a week and get a homeless bag. Because they can't get anything that would go in the refrigerator and everything because they don't have it. And we had 1,104 people that come in and got extras, and that would be produce, bread, whatever we have out. And we have eggs right now, so they can get 1 dozen eggs. And we have USDA people that come in from Richton and Beaumont and anywhere in Perry County. And we had 50 people to come in and get a USDA box, which you cannot deny them. And that was 12 new people that signed up in August to get a box. So we went through 34,840 pounds of food this month. It's getting higher and we see it coming. And it's gonna be bad, especially for us at Thanksgiving and Christmas, trying to get food boxes out. But I wanna thank y'all for what y'all do. Y'all have always been very supportive to us. And we're here to help. We wish everybody could see, okay, we're a central location, everybody can come help us. And we're on Charity Tracker, so we can tell if they've gone somewhere else to get food.
And if they have, we call them out on that.
So you double dipping.
Double dipping. And we have some people that do that, and they say they did not realize they couldn't go both places. We said, well, you can't, so.
That happens when you go.
Yeah, it happens, but with Charity Tracker, with Christian Services Edward Street, and a lot of our pedal churches are on Charity Tracker, I can tell you where you've been, and when you went there, what you got, And I might not say a box of cereal, but I'd say you got some food. And so, that's a big help to us there, but y'all have been so with us so many years, and this place is growing, and we're in the process, we have bought land, and it adjoins off of Fifth Avenue to the back of the building, and we've got 2 people that's gonna donate us some land, and then we'll know after next week what Asbury's decision is on selling the building or what, so we'll know that. If we can go that route and get that, then we want to expand the building.
So y'all really would rather buy the building?
Well, yeah, because if we add on $100,000 building, and if we leave, we can't take that building with us. So we're back, we were going to do that, then we stepped back and decided, let's just wait and just see what, first this, and so that we'll know after next week what's gonna happen there. But we do own a little over an acre there, then we got 2 pieces of property that's gonna be donated to us. And with that, we could build a building there, but I don't wanna do that.
Right.
I think we're in a perfect location for pedal.
Yes, I think.
Because the homeless can walk to us, and I find out where they're living, and they don't mind sharing it with me. And, they also, there's the elderly down that way can get to us, especially if they have to walk with their wagon. So, I think we're in a perfect location, and Drew's been very supportive to the task
I was
force.
just fixing to ask you about.
Yeah, Drew's out, I always have to call Drew on some things, but, Drew, he's supposed to be volunteering tomorrow afternoon too, I just remembered that. But, he says, yeah, it gets there at 2:30, we close at 3, But anyway, no, but, Drew's been very instrumental in helping us, with the procedures, what we need to do. So I do rely on him, answering questions for me. Thank you for doing that.
Appreciate the work you do.
Does anybody have any questions they want to
Appreciate
ask
what you do.
me?
You have a big heart.
I love it, and I'll cry with the people, they'll come
And
in,
that's what they need.
we pray with the
That's right.
people, I mean, it's just an awesome, I said, this is just what God's wanting
Absolutely.
us to do,
And if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time we will have been the title sponsor, right?
Yes, and we're only having one. After we know tonight, it'll be sold over it, so nobody else will have that. And Dee Dee's got some great plans for our title sponsor. Really, y'all, I want this to be a big city pedal task force event where people come from other places and they want to be in this. Since Waffle House does breakfast, we have great door prizes, and now people saying, why don't you have a silent auction there? Too, and I said, well, our door prizes are so good, nobody wants to bid on anything. But, I do want to find another fundraiser. We got to get money in cause food is going up, and like I said, if our donations don't come in, we don't have it to buy food. So,
Appreciate the work you do. This is.
Oh, well-
Looks like y'all changed it, looks like y'all getting your church started.
yes, we got 4 corners up today. There's 4 2x4s,
Good.
whatever you want to call them, the corners.
That's
I
good.
just came by there. So thank God for that. We're excited about that too.
This is in February. In February every year, it kind of starts off the running season, if you will. And it's something that I've been trying to work on to where we would have a signature outdoor type event, a health fitness type event, one each quarter. I say that to shamelessly plug, we have our 9/11 stair climb that's going to be at 5 o'clock Saturday evening, in between some band activity that's going to take place out there. So come out and support our. You can ran him off already? Well, he's right there. No, he's right there.
Okay.
With our fire department, Battalion Chief Brent Chenault does a good job with
Mayor
that.
usually walks there.
And I will be there sweating with the
I know, I
firemen.
tried last year, I needed a video.
And we do get folks from other places. So we've got that. We've got a 6-hour run that's going to take place on October 29th. And I'm piggybacking off of what you do. I really want to promote that and make that a big thing for City of Petal. And it's all due to the work that you've done at the Children's Task Force. So we're very appreciative.
Well, we
of that.
appreciate y'all being the title sponsor, and there'll only be one, and, I want to say all of you out there walking or running.
Plenty of time to get ready.
That's
I mean,
right.
good- I mean,
Exactly.
Come on, huh?
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Mayor, it's always good to see you.
All right, thanks, Danny. Number 19, request to renew agreement with Owens Business Machine for 3 copiers at $159 per month. Is there a motion? Is there a second? All in favor? Number 20, request to dispose of the following items in the Recreation Department, 1 Echo trimmer and 1 backpack blower.
Motion.
Is there a second? All in favor? Request to accept engagement letter with Holton Associates for 2021 and 2022 audit. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Number 22, request to accept the resignation of LeBaron Jackson in the Police Department effective August 31st, 2022. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, this is a long one, my apologies, I'm gonna probably butcher this, but anyway, number 23, request to authorize acceptance of land donation from Billy King of 6 parcels having the following tax PTINs, 30929, 30930, 39454, 31707, 28242, and 39031. And to authorize Jessica Vaughn to conduct title search, title confirmation, and closing of said parcels. And authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute any and all documents necessary to complete the transaction and issue manual checks and the payment upon closing of the transaction. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? Second. This is some land that's actually close to the ballparks over there. So I think it's very in keeping with some area that we would like to have the rest of that area at some point. But hey, really is being nice enough to donate this to us, so we're very appreciative. Got a motion, got a second, all in favor? Number 24, request to authorize AARP tax aid to utilize office space in the Petal Senior/Veteran Center for tax return preparation services.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Josh, when are they coming in? When are they, obviously in the spring sometime?
There's not an exact set.
They don't have a setup yet?
No,
Didn't
sir.
they do this before there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome.
They've been using churches in the past, and some of the churches they won't be able to use this year, so they're trying to find another location.
Okay, awesome. All right, got a motion, got a second, all in favor? Okay. Number 25, request to accept proposed change in the amount of $18,360 for placing grouted riprap on the downstream ditch in place of sod to further stabilize the banks and ditch bottom as necessary to the scope of the original contract for Chapel Hill Road pipe replacement per Shell Dearman and Wake's recommendation. Motion and a second. All in favor? Number 26, request to adjust water services bill to 111 Smith Street in the amount of $386 and late fees of $50.49 due to a leak. Is there a motion?
Motion.
There is a motion second. All in favor?
Wait for Melissa to sign the thing.
I didn't know if you did it after we voted. No, okay, there we go. Okay, you good?
Yep, good.
Okay, we got a motion, got a second. All in favor? Keep it straight, man.
Yeah.
Number 27, request to approve the docket of claims for the month of August 2022. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion second, all in favor? Number 28, request to set a hearing date for property located at 39 Char Lane. We're just setting the date there. Is there a
Motion.
Motion and second, all in favor? And same thing again, request to set a hearing date for property located on North Main Street.
Motion.
All in favor?
Do we have an address for that one?
It was just a parcel.
Number 30,
They're cheap, big money.
you get a little nervous.
Yeah.
If you see a yellow sign out in front of A1, just give me a call.
I don't think you crossed the street yet, Craig.
Number 30, request to pay estimate number 1 in the amount of $82,665.20 to Greenbrier for McSwain Water Improvements for Shallow Dearman and Waits engineering recommendations.
Motion.
there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 31, request to accept supplemental agreement with CV Developers, well, that's a little one, in the amount of $4,079.75 for Dawson Cutoff Sewer Replacement. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And once again, request to set a hearing date for a property located on 919 Sunrise Road.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 33, request to dispose of Everest refrigerator asset number 2381 in the Civic Center.
Motion.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All righty, number 34, request to authorize Mayor Ducker to attend MML Board of Directors meeting in Greenwood, Mississippi on September 30th, 2022, cost of $207. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
What are you gonna give us for?
Number 36, request to adopt, we'd already done 35, so 36 is request to adopt an order promoting Cole Morrow to second-class patrol at a rate of $17.49 per hour, effective September 7th. Motion got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All righty, request to adopt order promoting Joe Lee to sergeant at a rate of $19.72 per hour, effective September 7th.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And number 38, request to adopt an order removing Chris Showles from the engineer/maintenance position, remaining at engineer with a pay rate of $13.54 per hour, effective September 7th.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All righty, in the mayor's report, as I mentioned earlier, we do have the portal open. I think we're in a pretty good position, other than one spot that we had looked at, that's a part of the contract that we had signed way back, it seems like a decade ago, but whenever we signed the, I think it was 9 or 11 part contract, with Shaw, Goodman and Waits, and it was the North Gandy area. And speaking with our engineer, he don't necessarily think we'll score out real well on that, because all it's been to this point is coffee talk. As per that, I am going to go ahead and authorize him to go ahead and get boots on the ground, which basically will come up with a plan that will allow us to submit something to you guys to put out to bid when that time comes. But it'll at least be able to show, once we put that stuff in the portal, that we're doing a little bit more than talking about it and needing it to get done. And I think we're pretty in a pretty good spot in the other stuff. I think we'll score out pretty good on things that are already taking place. Dawson Cutoff, McSwain. We've had quite a bit of work, boots on the ground at Eastover, which is out in the county. So this is just all of us moving some stuff around, but I will authorize him either later this evening or tomorrow to go ahead in his time to schedule getting some boots on the ground and getting us you know, what we need over there and the parameters of getting sewer and water over there. I think the contract actually had for a road in there as well, but that's a down the road situation. But the other stuff will get turned in at some point middle of the month. They'll go ahead and start grading stuff, from what I understand, when they get it, but there's no penalty for being late. The 20th, the 15th, there's not going to be an advantage for that. If you don't get it this go around, there will be a portal. The talk is there's a portal open again in the spring. There's also talk that let's just get YouTube to be turned off now, but they put $450 million into that plan. The amount of money that all the entities got in the state of Mississippi is $600 to $700 million. So obviously they didn't fund it this first round enough to get everybody double. So the thought is, especially it being an election year, they could possibly come in as part of their 1.8 billion, come in and double that as well. Or not double it, put more money into it. And I've even heard the other side of it too, but just informing the board, we're going to be in a position to turn in and try to double our money, which was 2.6 million. We want to turn our 2.6 into 5.2. I think that's very important. If we had 20 million, we got a place for that too. But 5.2 is better than 0. So anyway, I appreciate the board's efforts, especially the board really did all the work on the paving stuff. And I'm not blaming y'all if somebody didn't make the list. I'm just saying, they hand us a list and we worked through that process, and they were very diligent about that. And I don't know of anything that we've had to knock off And that's some give and take once we get in there. They start turning these roads up, and they could say, hey, this is, okay, you came in under budget. Could be some situations, they'll come back to us and say, hey, for an extra $20,000, you could add this or fix that. So hopefully we'll come in a little, and then we'll get to add some stuff at the end, but it's a commitment, I know, from the administration and the board, that, hey, every spring we could come in with some large numbers and really get some of this stuff knocked out. Obviously, the 5.2 would take care of some of the guts of the road, the stuff underneath it. Sometimes it is pretty to talk about as some of the other stuff, but who wants a water leak on a freshly paved road? It's very tough. Anything the board wants to add to it? I think situationally, Monday we are going to meet at, did I say 5:30?
Yeah.
Next Monday we will meet with redistricting, and we hope to come out of that meeting with everything hammered out. Mike Slaughter is coming down and is going to have his guy with a computer so we can work it out. He can play with it right when right when we're sitting here, so we should be able to walk out of there with something pretty good. The first part of the budget stuff was done tonight, which was the hearing. We have to actually vote on the budget, but there's a time frame. We can't do it before 7 days. So next Tuesday at 6 o'clock, we'll have to meet again, and hopefully that'll be a 15-minute meeting. We're still working on Rocky, myself, and Drew. Really, both of them have done the 90% of the work. But anyway, they're working through the contract stuff, the potential privatization of our public works departments. We're still working on that. There's a chance one of those shoes could fall, sometime next week possibly. So we're looking, got a lot of moving parts. That's probably I think that's about the biggest meeting I've ever been in, I think. But anyway, really quick, anything the board wants to add? I think we're going to start meeting a little early. You want to add anything to that?
Yeah, just in the future, plan on calling for some more sessions before our current meetings, just for us to have the opportunity to get together and discuss both what's on the agenda, if we have any issues, or bring in any experts that we need to talk to for any particular reasons, or just talk about things that are in general in the future but aren't on the immediate agenda. Just give us an opportunity to discuss and meet as a board. I think the last time that I brought that up, it was taken a bit as we were doing something wrong, and that's not quite how I meant it. What I meant to say is, I want us to be able to do the thing that the law prevents us, and that's just for all of us to gather together as a body and discuss our city. So we'll take the opportunity to test that out.
Thank you for the hard work you put into a lot of this.
Very much so. Very excited about the roads.
Melissa did all of it. That's monumental for us. The most money, we just spent 1.5, or we'll spend 1.5. The most, I know that since I've been in office for 12 years, was $1 million, and we borrowed the money to do it.
That's right.
We'll pay cash for this 1.5
I
million
hope we'll do a little bit more next year.
And hope, and some of that's not us being geniuses with money, but if y'all want to think that, we'll go ahead and stay with that. But part of it is internet sales tax money. We have been coming under budget lately, so we're coming into a season where we do have a little bit more money to do some things. But it costs millions and millions of dollars. The amount of roads we would have paved with 1.5 million 3 years ago was a whole lot more than we're getting paid now. A mile of roads, $90,000 to $100,000. Now it's 115 to 125 probably.
Looks like about 12 to 13 miles that we can pay.
Yeah.
With that one more side.
Curb and gutter costs more. I always think of Morrow Road. That's gonna cost more. That's almost like it'll be a new road when we get done through it. But it's good to see our persistence pay off. But anyway, I don't have anything else. Let y'all do. Anybody?
Yeah, we got one more question about ditch at the end of Cole.
Yeah, come on up. Come on up.
Y'all bear with me, I'm kind of new to this.
No, that's fine.
I've never lived in the city till this year. I live on the corner of East Second and Cola.
Hey, you already have that house there, didn't you? Is it that one? Which side of the road?
Little small house.
Which side of
Little
Cola?
small house.
I'm headed to East Second. It's on the left.
Left.
Okay.
Looks
Okay.
good.
Yeah, it really does
Appreciate
look
you
good.
doing that. That looks good.
Yeah, very good.
We've
We've talked about that house for a long
It's a work in
Just work in
progress.
progress.
No, we finished with it.
No, still fighting. But, during this last storm, we had a significant amount of water in our yard. Not near as much as some of our neighbors. I think we're kind of up on on a little rise, but, I did take the, I don't wanna say initiative, but the wanna know what the issue was as to why the water wasn't draining. You've got the house directly across from me, which is my neighbor's Ben Poor. And then there's a house right next to him that appears to be abandoned. I think the family was doing something this weekend. I think they finally settled.
Mike,
on
that's
what's
what we
going
were
on.
talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah, the owner
Yeah.
died and
Right.
Yeah.
there's some
Well,
legal issues still.
But there is, I noticed, and I was talking to Craig, all the water comes from Clark Street down to us. It all kind of meets up right there by my house. But it goes under the road into this ditch that goes between Ben's house and this abandoned, and it's grown up and it's full of trash. and this.
I know for sure that the mayor's gone out himself and looked at that. I'll probably
Right.
look at that. And I've also knocked on your door a few times to try to reach you to talk to you about that.
I'm
know
never
you're
home.
busy. Yeah.
I chased a 6-year-old. most
And
of the
when
time.
the water was high, I was out there. I saw you.
Right,
And, it was wet. And I will say that, this board has taken action. We've already requested that, our city engineer look at that situation.
Right, I just didn't know if there was any way to clean that ditch out.
Just that basic cleaning of the ditch that
The-
it is cold and it keeps going.
That keeps going through there, it's just very grown up, I
Yeah,
mean.
so I've been pushing for that for a minute now, and,
Doable, Mike?
We, cleaned it out to the white building there. And then, we're trying to get working, that's the one we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and we're trying to get permission, whoever owns that house that's, there now, to be able to go on through. We need to cut a bunch of woods and stuff to be able to get into there. We got to cut a lot of property there. We need permission to cut that. Problem we had with the water flowing this time is if you went back there and saw the creek that this dumps into, it was out of its banks.
Right.
So even if we would have had it cleaned out, I don't think it would have done a whole lot of good on this
Right.
particular.
Right, absolutely, this.
But yeah, we are working,
Special circumstance.
Alderman Steele's working on, getting permission for us to go on that property and cut a bunch of, smaller trees and stuff, and we can get in there and dig that out. But we've only dug one time to that white building.
Right.
That's right.
Is that something we could do again, what we've already done?
Yeah, we can go in there and dig it out again.
Well,
But just to that white building, because we need to get on the other side, but there's a lot of grown up, bigger bushes and trees.
Right.
We go and clean that out, it's a straight shot to see the neighbor, and we don't want to get in on somebody else's property and be opening it up to somebody else's.
I don't know if this would help, but I do believe my neighbor across the street, Ben Poor, I think he got the contact information for the people that own this, or the family that owns the house
Yeah,
right next to him.
so the
Does the
situation
legwork.
we're in right
I have
now,
it too.
this is actually something I've been wanting to bring up to the board, and our attorney, tell me when to be quiet. And that's basically, we have verbal confirmation from the owners of all properties saying, do it. And so the question is, do we actually need signatures and right of ways in order to get in there and clean it out like we have for decades? But this time, do we have to have legal, paperwork in order to do that, or can that be a board action and get rolling?
Yeah, I think you.
Do we have an easement on that one, that particular?
Not that I'm aware of. We have all, like I said, we've always kind of went right down there to the
If we
building.
don't, I mean, I think there is a perception that we have an easement on every ditch in the city. And if we don't, it's a one-hit wonder legally. We can go in and we can clean it out, but we can't maintain it until we get the easements of it. So I know we've done the front end, obviously we got some right of way, so you got 10, 15 foot. You can-
Right, we went down to the white building because there was nothing really there to stop us or anything in our way. We just cleaned the ditch out. But to go around the building on the backside, we can't get to the ditch.
I think wasn't the fear too that if you got too close to that building, it's going to end up in the ditch?
Right, well, that's why we want them on this side of
And
the
to be
old
honest
house.
with you, I think if you can get to, what's the other road in there? First. You can get close to First. Now, if you get close to First, some of that stuff stays pretty cleaned out and has a little drop to it.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
go out there, you're in a lot better shape. And that actually ties into what we were talking about earlier. If you catch water from Greens Creek before it even gets to that area. Now, don't get me wrong, it's only a 5-10 year discussion, but it needs to be had. Then Green Creek getting full in a situation like that, then that water has a place to go.
We're never gonna be able to heal the weather. but-
So, yeah, it is. I mean, I was pretty excited about it, other than I realized it would take, like, you're gonna get to core, because it's gonna be millions of dollars.
Absolutely.
Even like doing something up under the railroad, we're talking about millions of dollars. Unfortunately, the railroad can give a flip. I mean, nothing against them. I mean, they're good. You know, their business is community. Just like it is.
If I could just be clear about that though, right now, we're coming to the understanding that we cannot make a board action to get in there and clean that ditch out, even with all owners verbally saying, do it.
Correct, yeah, verbally ain't gonna cut it. So we need it in writing.
All right.
We've always operated in
And so
writing.
the issue there is some of the owners need to get some paperwork signed and then return to us.
Cause we can
And,
write
I need to
these
get
up, and need to get time, right?
Well, Gerald's already working on the easement. We've shopped some easements between the three of us,
Okay, good.
and so it's not an unknown issue, but yeah, with, Mike
No,
and I both feel more
no.
comfortable with it being in writing.
Absolutely. Y'all got it covered.
And I also have one more question, because once again, I'm new to the whole city thing, and I'm not used to having to ask. There is a tree, right, I want to say it almost in the ditch, but it's growing up through the power line. Who do I need?
Probably got it first.
Yeah.
Okay, so call Mississippi Power and say, hey, can you get this tree out
They
of the
can
power
look at it
line?
and they may cut it down, clear it out for
I'm
you.
surprised that hadn't already.
Yeah, usually everybody makes a lot of record doing
You
it.
get 15 feet on either side, no butcher your.
Yeah.
Well, the tree's dead.
Yeah, I would definitely get that. And if the street department were to go out there right now, and look at the person who's doing it, call power.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm new to this, so I don't know what I can and can't do, who to call.
You done good, so you get.
We're still figuring it out.
I'm good.
Thank you so
And
much.
like, speaking of, you know, we've got that hanging post on Carterville,
It's just off Dawson Cutoff.
kind of close to Keystone Cove.
On the left-hand side going east. It's a pole next to a pole. It's been there since the tornado. And we've contacted and contacted and contacted.
Just kind of bringing it back up between you and Amy and me.
It's broken at the bottom line.
Right, didn't they replace the pole and that,
Yeah,
That's the only one sitting there.
and left the old one there? Now, what happens is AT&T, Comcast, anybody else got stuff on, is supposed to get it off and put it on the other pole.
It's off. It's a bare pole, but it's touching the other lines.
Okay, so that.
If they allow me to do it, I get out there with a chainsaw, but I can't touch it.
Got it.
You with a, I've seen you with a chainsaw, don't let him touch it.
If the power company owns it, we can call them now if everything's off of it. That's what we wait on everybody to get
We've
everything
seen
off.
Kevin out there.
I just sent you.
Chief, nice to have you here tonight. Chief, nice to have you here tonight.
Nice to be here.
Hey, is there
Yeah,
a,
glad
nice
to
to
hear
be
the sleep
here.
back there. You
Now you're
see?
gonna hear the magical words. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Mm-mm.
Let's talk about that.